I am Michelle Pulis, and I will be giving my persuasive speech for SPC 1600. This is my 5 audience members. Okay. Imagine just entering your high school years. You made a decision to sleep with an upperclassman, not really knowing him at all. You thought that by having sex with him, you'd be more mature and popular. Little did you know that the person you slept with was HIV positive. You don't even know what HIV is. The only thought in your mind is that HIV leads to AIDS, and AIDS leads to death. People tend to think that things like this will not happen to them. How can one bad decision affect you for the rest of your life? The feeling that you thought you were going to have of maturity and popularity instantly has been changed to being scared and questioning how long your life is going to last. Mistakes cannot be made when it comes to sex. A decision that is made within a few minutes will affect you for the rest of your life. Contracting an STD or having a child are possibilities that sex brings, and is not what teens are expecting when choosing to sleep with someone in high school. It is time that teenagers are educated about sex. Florida's laws on teaching abstinence have clearly not made a huge impact on teens these days. They need the cold hard facts that sex is just not a fun activity to do with whom you want, when you want. The outcome of sleeping with someone can be life-changing. Florida needs to change sex education from abstinence only. More and more teens each year begin to have sex at younger and younger ages. More than half of the students upon entering their senior year of high school have had sex. According to Contraception Online organization, by 12th grade, over 61% of students have had sex. Along with that comes possibility of these students transmitting STDs or becoming pregnant. According to Planned Parenthood, today more than 3 million teenage girls have a sexually transmitted infection. This alone emphasizes the need for real comprehensive sex education and statewide standards for sex education. There are always going to be people that follow the belief that sex should happen after marriage. That is great if you want to follow that belief of waiting until marriage, but the fact is that teens will make their own decisions, and that it is statistically clear that most are not choosing to wait. So instead of hoping that they wait, they need to be taught ways of protecting themselves and the seriousness of STDs and pregnancy. According to Planned Parenthood, 1 in 4 teenagers carry an STD, many of which are incurable. If teens knew exactly what STDs were and what they looked like, some may change their minds on possibly exposing themselves to them. Some parents believe it is their responsibility to talk to children about sex. Some parents need help. This is perfectly understandable because I'm sure, as most of you, when I was younger, talking about sex with your parents was not a very comfortable conversation. And even more so, when you're at this age, the last person that you want to talk to is your parents about sex. We need mandatory education programs in our schools that will keep teens healthy by including information about abstinence as well as contraception, healthy communication, responsible decision-making, and prevention of sexually transmitted infections. Young people receive too little information too late. Only a few weeks ago, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, released data showing that sex education programs do work to help discourage many teens from becoming sexually active before the age of 15. Instead of getting this education, many Florida teens are being shortchanged by ineffective abstinence-only programs. It is hard to believe that last year Florida received the second highest abstinence-only until marriage funding, totaling over $10 million. And yet Florida currently ranks 6th in the nation in teen pregnancy and 2nd in the nation in HIV and AIDS rates. There needs to be different ways to get across to teenagers that they should wait or how to protect themselves. If making the decision to have sex, it is sad to see that some teenagers' minds sex becomes an activity rather than something special between two people. Although everyone is entitled to their own beliefs, the meaning behind sex needs to be reiterated. It is not something that makes you feel mature or should make you be accepted among others. On a very realistic note, and a very true story, in my senior year of high school, an underclassman girl chose to sleep with 4 football players. I attended a very small school where everyone knows everyone's business. This became the small town scandal in the newspapers and all over the place. She was put into counseling, and the football players were put into different councils of seeing exactly what happened, and the newspapers quoted the girl saying, "I did it because they were popular and hot." That should not be a reason to have sex with someone. We never had any sort of sex education taught to us. She made a decision trying to fit in, which not even thinking about the consequences that sex can bring. She could have ended up pregnant with some sort of infection If we had a sex education program at our school that taught these things, her decision probably would have been different. This is a story that I know personally. There are bound to be countless girls like her that made these horrible decisions when in high school because they're not educated enough. A change needs to be made and lessons need to be learned sooner than later. And by being taught, not by personal experience. A bill has been written in opposition to abstinence-only teachings called the Healthy Teens Act. The Healthy Teens Act is a bill that would make sex education possible. According to the Florida Senate, the Healthy Teens Act would provide medically accurate, age-appropriate information beginning in the 6th grade. The bill outlines the curriculum for which school districts may choose the manner of implementation. You can help move this bill into action. All you have to do is visit ppaction.com and sign the petition telling our legislators that the time has come for statewide standards so that all teens learn facts about sex from trusted and responsible resources. This change needs to be made, and it's up to all of us to help these teenagers become educated on sex. Thank you.